The following is a presentation of TFNN.
'em. Let's go to Ilka in Boston. Ilka, thanks for calling. Thanks for holding.
How are you?
I'm doing wonderful.
Steve, seriously, you guys are unbelievable. You are doing wonders for all the traders.
Well, thanks. We appreciate that.
The Trader's Edge. Now, Steve Rhodes.
Good morning, all you wonderful money masters and treasure hunters. Welcome to the February 10th, marvelous Monday edition of today's Opening Bell on the Trader's Edge. I'm your host, Steve Rhodes, and I absolutely treasure your presence here today. My outcome, as always, is to help you to become a better money master and to provide you with the tools, well, just simply the tools that each of us need in order to lead an inspired life. Because leading an inspired life, folks, that's what it's all about. So let's go look at one of our tools. This is the tool I call nurturing your crops. Nurturing your crops. You know, the sower is the one that plants the crops. In days past, the sower got the ground ready and with a bag of seed would walk across the ground and sow that seed. This is how he got crops going. And for me, it's a fascinating story about the qualities of a true leader. And that's important because each of us are sowers. Each of us are leaders. You see, the sower demonstrated that he was a wise man, which in and of itself is a great advantage. After all, we don't want an unwise man planting the seed because we would all starve. So the sower is ambitious, which is an admirable quality. And the sower is a hard worker. After all, it takes productivity to bring forth life because an idea without action, well, it never becomes real. And therefore, we must always motivate ourselves to take action. Lastly, the sower has to not just be, but has to have the best seed. And as we all know, it's exciting to be involved with the best, whether it's the best product, the best service, the best idea, the best trade, or otherwise. So here's the real key for me. The sower, with all of these qualities, knows about the law of averages. You see, the sower knows that as he plants the seed, the birds will get it. It's a common scenario. In fact, it's inevitable. And if you don't understand this, you could be upset because of having a bad or wrong set of expectations. Now, when trading and investing, it's really important that as the sower, that each trade is the seed. And guess what? Some of those seeds will be eaten by the birds. They mask themselves as losing trades. Now, always remember, the birds will get some of the seed. And where it may seem like you want to go chase those birds to clear your fields, well, the law of averages won't work unless you get back to the field. That's the whole key. For me, that means taking your losses. Plant more seed. Take the next trade. You see, the wise sower ignores the birds and keeps on sowing. Or keeps on going. You know, the law of averages in trading and investing is what I refer to as your expectancy table. The sower knows the expectancy of his or her trading system. Do you know the expectancy of your trading system? The sower knows that some trades, some seeds will take hold and grow into a nice, healthy trade, and that others, well, they'll fail. And a sower knows the averages of his or her system. We began trading the Rhodes Momentum Indicator System exactly 6 months ago today. In that time, we've taken 53 trades. 68% of them have been winning trades, and they've created a system expectancy of plus 0.35. It means it's got a positive expectancy. It means on a $100,000 account, that's an average of over $18,000 already booked. And we've got 2 trades that we haven't closed out. One of those trades has got a 57% profit in it, the other about 28%, and both those as of Friday's close. Folks, use stops, know your system expectancy, and stay in the field. And if you do that, you will be nurturing your crops out there. Hope everybody had a fantastic weekend. Thanks so much for joining us as we take a look at these markets out here right now. Dow futures are trading flat. They're trading out at 15,737. S&P futures down a point. They're trading out at 1792. NASDAQ futures up 1 point. So we've got some flat markets out here. If the weather was warm in your area, we could go barefoot water skiing. We've got the gold is up $11 right now. So the big mover in the marketplace this morning, Goldilocks and silver. Gold trading out at $12.74. Hi-Ho silver trading up 25 cents, up a little over 1%, trading out at $20.19. Light sweet crude, it is totally flat, trade at 99.88 out here. Looks like natural gas, boy, that thing has been all over the place. It's back about 8 cents, down nearly about 2% here this morning. A quick peek across the globe. Let's see what we've got going on over in Germany. The DAX is up 12 points. You thought I was going to say 12%, didn't you? No, 12 points. The FTSE is up 14 points. So really flat markets out there. Asia last night, we had the Nikkei up 307 points. That was up 2%. The Shanghai, that came back online. That was up 43 points. That was up 2%. And the Hang Seng down 57 points, about 0.25%. Our call-in number is 877-927-6648. If you give us a call, be happy to take a look at your chart of whatever it is that you're trading, commodity, currency, individual stock, ETF, you name it. We will take a look at it. Right now, let's start off. Let's take a look at the daily charts here. Let's start with the NASDAQ. Let's go take a look at what we've got going on inside the NASDAQ. Now, nice wide-ranging bar. Let me get rid of a couple of these things out here on the chart. Well, I don't know if that was the one I wanted to get rid of. Let me just do this. It might be easier to actually do that, get rid of the proper thing. So as we take a look at Friday's chart out here, we take a look at it's the current chart. It's the futures contract. Nice wide-ranging bar. That is a strong bar. If you were to measure bars, 1 through 10, you'd have to give this, with 10 being the strongest, we'll use 10 as the strongest this morning. That's going to be basically your 10, your 9.5 at least. The only way it could have been a 10 would have been to have opened and had no wick at the bottom at all. In this case here, wide-ranging bar. Markets don't end on wide-ranging bars. Now, what does that mean? That means that, you're not likely to see a complete reversal here today. We do know that it's trading up into resistance areas. We take a look at where those resistance areas are. They are the downdrafts that really began as the market made a turn negative. That was on January 24th. As we take a look at the NASDAQ futures, if we look at just simple retracements out here, that would mean going from the swing point high from January 23rd all the way down to the low that came in on February the 5th out here. What we'll see is price came into that wide-ranging bar, that 0.618 retracement level, and in fact, it closed above it. The 0.618 retracement level is 35.49. What does that mean when you come into a retracement level such as this with a wide-ranging bar? Usually says you're going to move to the next level. It's going to take it up one more level. That level will take it about 35.87 or so. That is your 0.786 retracement. Now, the interesting thing here with regard to the NASDAQ futures, and this is what we want to be paying attention to, is what happens if it, in fact, gets up to that level. Because at that level, which we're also getting into, is a test of the swing point high from January 23rd, the low of which is 35.8150. 35.8150. That is the number that we want to be paying attention to. Should the NASDAQ futures close inside that, it would be a signal. Now, it also depends on the volume here. On that trading session on January 23rd, there were 184,000 contracts that traded hands. On Friday out here, 267,000. So you're moving in towards a swing point with volume. We'll see what today offers. But if, in fact, you close inside 38.5150, it sets up that the NASDAQ futures ought to go test the highs. They ought to go test that high, which is at 36.3525. If, on the other hand, it moves up, it tests 35.8150, closes back below, does it on less than 184,000 contracts out there, you would have a failure on both price and volume. So one thing at a time, we do want to be paying attention to the NASDAQ futures. I don't know whether it's today, it's tomorrow, it's Wednesday out there, but the NASDAQ futures should get up and at least test that level, and we want to be paying attention to what is going on inside the NASDAQ. If we take a look at the S&P 500, We take a look at the ES Mini as it was forming a bottom out here with a wide-ranging bar to the downside, by the way. That was on February 3rd. Of course, the market did not end on that bar. We saw a move sideways for a couple of days. It was also making your 1.272 butterfly pattern out there. You want to know your expansions of swing points out there. When I say 1.272 butterfly, when I say expansions of swing points, I'm referring to the swing point here from December 16th. That low out here was at 1754. If you go from that low to the high out here that was formed inside the ES Mini, that was December 31st. That was up at 1846.50. If you take the difference between those two, multiply it times 1.272, subtract it now from the high of December 31st at the 1846.50 level, you'll get it down to about 1732 and a quarter or right around there. So you got a 1.272 expansion. We've had a nice move up. Now, when we take a look at that move up, unlike the NASDAQ, which has moved above the 0.618 retracement. Now, of course, the NASDAQ, much easier to do, right? Because, maybe you don't know that. But let's go back and actually take a look. Let's put them side by side. Let me see if I can do this here. In the case of the NASDAQ futures, let me pull this down here. Let's try the old side-by-side routine out here, or as close as we can get to it. If we take a look at the NASDAQ futures, all the NASDAQ futures did on the way down was test the low of December 18th out there. That low inside the NASDAQ futures, that was 241,000 contracts. That was tested with 324. That was on December 5th. But you see, it only made a 100% move of a move, where in the case of the ES Mini, if I pull that off to the side here, and that's if you're watching us on TigerTV, or inside the Tiger's Den out there. And if you're just listening on the radio or your mobile device at TFNN.mobi, thanks so much for doing that. Remember, you can catch the live stream of the show by going to the homepage of TFNN.com. Upper right-hand side, you'll see that button. 3 little smartphone-type devices. Click on that. The show will stream live to you. And, of course, the archive is on Channel 9 out here. So it was much easier because the NASDAQ futures didn't retrace as much for it to obviously make and get through the 0.618 retracement level out there. You know, both the ES Mini and the NASDAQ, both pretty strong out here. If we take a look at the ES Mini, it has not made it to its 0.618 retracement level. That's at 1802.70 or trade at 1791. Nice wide-ranging bar on Friday as well out here. I would say the 1802 level is 1802-ish. Maybe it's 1801.75. In fact, the swing point here that it's dealing with is from January 29th, that high out there, 1801.25. So we'll see what happens. Now, that could be an area where we would see the ES Mini fail. So we're watching for here is we're watching for the bottom of that swing point inside the NASDAQ futures. We're watching to see what happens with the ES Mini as it tackles the 1801-ish range out there. Close above 1801.25. That sets up an 1802 area. That sets up a move higher, probably to the 1821 level. It's trading right now at 1791. We got gold up $11. It's trading out at 1273. Silver's up 27 cents. We'll go take a look at the metals when we get back from this first break. Our call-in number is 877-927-6648. It is Marvelous Monday, and thanks so much for beginning your day with us here at TFNN. We'll be right back, folks.
Who says you can't take it with you? TFNN says you can. With your mobile device and TFNN's live radio streams, TFNN has put it all in the palm of your hands. No special apps to download. No subscription fees for live radio or TigerTV streams. We say you can.
Now let's go over to the dollar, because the dollar is going to be the generator. It is the generator of basically higher dollar, lower market. And what the dollar has done, and this whole uptrend, folks, has just gone sideways. The way it works, folks, is this.
We say you can. The Tiger Financial News Network. Smart investors and professional traders know you can. TFNN.com. Educating investors. with the launch of TigerTV. TFNN has brought our programming to the next level. With TigerTV, you can gain access to each host's charts and computer screens as they host their daily stock program. Whether it's Tom O'Brien, Steve Rhodes, Basil Chapman, David White, Larry Pezzamento, Andy Hecht, Victor Jones, or Terrell Martin, you can catch all of our technicians hosting their programs live and archived on TigerTV for your viewing pleasure 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. If you haven't checked out TigerTV, then visit TFNN.com and see what you're missing.
TFNN is excited about our new software charting program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts. In collaboration with Tom O'Brien and using his best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, David White has programmed an outstanding piece of software that will complement any trader's methodology. Using this first-of-its-kind program, The Art of Timing the Trade Charts allows you to scan thousands of stocks for Fibonacci formation setups, including Gartley's, ABC's, butterflies, and much more. The Art of Timing the Trade Charts is designed to help you when scouring the markets for stocks just beginning to form the trading patterns that many investors spend days, weeks, or even months searching to find. And right now, we're offering licenses available at only $79 a month. We are so confident that you're going to love this new charting software that will even give you a 30-day unconditional money-back guarantee. Don't miss out on this incredible new piece of software. Get your copy of The Art of Timing the Trade Charts today by visiting TFNN.com.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
Are you looking for a precision edge in the market? Something that can stack the odds in your favor? Then look into Larry Pezzamento's trading newsletter.
Patterns, profits, and peace of mind.
In each weekly issue, Larry explains what's going to happen in the markets based on the pattern he sees developing and gives you actionable trade ideas based on those patterns. Plus, you'll get his detailed analysis on a variety of markets and sectors, including stocks, treasury bonds, the gold market, oil, the dollar, the Forex market, and more. You'll get access to all the patterns Larry is seeing in the markets, plus the Astro Harmonics and powerful Bradley stock market model that Larry utilizes for less than $5 a day. An extremely potent combination that will give you the edge you've been looking for. Try Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind absolutely free for 2 full weeks. That's an $85 value. Yours free when you register right now.
Get Larry's Patterns, Profits, and Peace of Mind.
And get the edge you've been looking for.
Investors, Taz Market Research delivers to its subscribers expert commentary on the analysis of 15 different markets each day. Get this invaluable and timely information through the daily market research videos Taz Market Research produces each day before 9 a.m. The video analysis will include reports on currencies, interest rates, indices, metals, energies, grains, and more. You'll be able to gauge where high profitability setups are in each of the markets. Receive a free 2-week trial subscription to Taz Market Research videos on the front page of TFNN.com. Steve takes your phone calls now. Toll free at 1-877-927-6648. Internationally at 727-445-1044.
Welcome back, folks. In the pre-market out here, we lead the charge the upside dollar-wise. Yelp is yelping out here. YELP is the ticker symbol. Makes sense. It closed at 89.41. It is trading out at 97.50, 97.60 right now was the last trade that fired up. I don't see the news behind the move out there. Auto Nav, AMAP. Is the ticker symbol out here. They close at 16.54. They're trading out at $20.77 out here. Looks like Alibaba is offering to acquire AutoNav out there. You've got Dick's Sporting Goods. DKS is the ticker symbol. It is closed out at 51.10. It's trading at 54.40 out here. I don't see their numbers. But it may be trading up because of numbers out here. Tesla Motors, TSLA, closed at 186.50. It's trading out at 189. To the downside out here, we got Boardwalk Pipeline. BWP is the ticker symbol. They're getting just absolutely smashed out here. 24.09 was their close. They're trading at 15.80. They had revenue of $312 million versus $325, so they missed on their top line out here. Net income, $595 versus $568. So maybe getting lower out there, but they are getting just the kibosh this morning here. You got Medicines Company, MDCO is the ticker symbol. They close at 34.22. They're trading down a few bucks, trading out to 32.05 right now. Apple trading off a bit this morning. It closed at 5.19. It's trading at 5.17 here. Nokia, NOK is the ticker symbol. They close at 7.66. They're down about 20 cents out here. Goldilocks. So let's go take a look at the metals markets, see what we have going on out there right now. Gold is up 10 bucks. It's trading out at 12.72. If you're watching us on Tiger TV, I've got two charts on my screen. The right-hand side is the weekly chart, and the left-hand side is the daily chart out there. I'll get it out of my system. On the right-hand side, the weekly chart, you can see the red diagonal lines to the downside. That's your descending price channel. So on a weekly basis, we've got gold having broke through that. Now, when it broke through there, if we take a look at the weekly chart, that broke through on the trading week of January 24th, breaks through the descending price channel, comes back the following week, January 31st out there, tests it, and rejects it. Stays above the rising price channel, as it did last week. Now, look, that's bullish. I want to go ahead and now expand this chart out here. I'll pull it out that way. It just expands the screen. Now, that's good. That is, when we take a look at gold out here, it did complete a 1-to-1 A to B equals CD down. Now, look, the exact price projection, 1178.90. It got down to 1186. That's close enough for actually. If I take that back. On January 3rd, we had an intraday spike of 1181. So that gets really close, right? You're only talking about $2-3 out there. So it completes its A to B equals CD down. Oftentimes, when you do that, you're going to do something different. One of those things, if we take a look at expectations, if you just simply take a look at your A to D point out here, your first expectation is to get up to the 0.382 retracement level. Let's go ahead and we'll make this even larger out here. We'll expand this up. And so right now we're coming from the swing point of August 30th down to the low that was put in here on January 3rd. Now, the 0.382 retracement is 1277.90. That level was hit. It was hit as it was breaking the descending price channel, came back all in that same week out here, and it just kind of, tugged at that the bottom of the rising or descending price channel out here, but certainly was a rejection. This is very positive from a weekly chart standpoint. Now, the next area of positivity, if that's even a word out there, is going to be getting above the 1277 area. If we see silver do that, if we see gold do that, 1337 to 1379 is really its target range. Really, what I'd have to say is, your logical area to take a look at is going to be your swing point. That's really the target. That's near November first level, and that's anywhere from 1305 to 1361 out here. That's what the weekly chart is showing. What the daily chart is showing out here, we have a confirmed A to B equals CD to the upside out here. That was taking place here on January 23rd, January 24th. That has a 1-to-1 projection of 1311. I would have to say 1333 to 1361 is more likely the outcome out here. So things look pretty good when it comes to gold. If we take a look at the black squiggly line going across my screen, you got gold trading above the 50-day exponential moving average, so that too is a little bit of a bullish sign out here. Silver, on the other hand, well, what it has done thus far this week, and we'll see if it can do it, it has broken a long-term trend line. That trend line takes you back to October 5th, 2012 out there. Of course, what you and I know is that silver's also been trading in about a $2.30, $2.50 sideways consolidation move out there. It still has not busted through the top of that. 877-927-6648. Let's kick off these markets. We'll do that when we get right back.
Has the current market volatility continued to stop you out of trades when the market spikes against you? Now is the perfect time to open up an account with Nadex. Nadex, the North American Derivatives Exchange, is a brand new, completely regulated Chicago-based exchange, and unlike most other exchanges, Nadex allows you to trade directly through them with direct market access when using their completely free trading platform, which also features real-time charts and full customization capability. One of the advantages of trading with Nadex in volatile markets is that your risk is always capped and you have the ability of keeping your trades open even when the market spikes against you. Nadex is completely brand new with a line of unique trading products that are unavailable anywhere else. See how it works at nadex.com. That's Nadex.com. or click on the Nadex banner on the front page of TFNN.com. Futures and options trading involves risk and may not be appropriate for all investors.
If you're an active trader looking for that extra edge when it comes to trading and investments, then now is a great time to get a 2-week free trial to Tom O'Brien's daily market letter, Market Insights. Tom O'Brien's daily newsletter, Market Insights, comes out every market day at around 9:30 a.m. and provides Tom's daily commentary on the broad market, including the Dow, NASDAQ, and S&P, plus specific trade recommendations. There's even an update published most afternoons to keep you informed about the day's market activity. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock and option trade. With Market Insights, there's nothing left to guessing. For all the details and to get your 2-week free trial to Market Insights started today, visit TFNN.com.
With over 3 decades of trading experience, Andy Hecht brings a tremendous amount of knowledge and expertise to each weekly issue of his newsletter, the Technomental Commodity Report. The Technomental Commodity Report gives you Andy's unique technomental analysis of the commodities market, a combination of technicals and fundamental analysis which he has developed and perfected over his many years of trading. The Technomental Commodity Report is only $49 a month, and right now you can get a full month-long trial subscription while paying absolutely nothing. See for yourself the kind of weekly report Andy delivers to his subscribers every Thursday morning. You'll receive specific stock, ETF, and option trades based on Andy's analysis, so no futures account is required. For all the details and to start your month-long free trial to the Technomental Commodity Report, visit TFNN.com today. Daryl Martin coined the phrase diagnostic trading, and we're happy to announce that his diagnostic box spread analyzer has finally been released. The Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer helps you easily identify the best box spreads on Nadex in seconds, plus you receive access to the diagnostic deviation levels, as well as step-by-step training videos teaching you how to trade Nadex spreads so you can quickly master the mechanics of this simple yet powerful trading instrument. By pulling live data from the Nadex exchange, the Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer does all the math for you, calculating risk, reward potential, distance to break even for both outright spreads and spreads used to hedge the underlying market. Visit the front page of TFNN.com today to get your 2-week free trial to Daryl Martin's Diagnostic Box Spread Analyzer and gain access to the valuable information it can provide when trading the Nadex box spreads.
This segment is brought to you by Think or Swim. For more information, just click the Think or Swim banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
We got the Dow down 16 points, trade out at 15,775. S&P off 1 at 1795. Composite up 4, trade out at 41.30. Oh, I do hear the Olympics in the background. You got to love it. Folks, hope you had a good weekend and were able to take in some of the Olympics. It's going to be a great couple of weeks. Nothing like watching these athletes who put everything on the line. And, boy, you talk about winning by a nose or winning by a second or just all the great stories out there. Both positive, well, really all positive. Just depends on how you take the news out there. In any event, we've got Super Tex SUPX. They're leading to charge the upside. They kind of snuck out here. That is up 35%. Looks like an acquisition that is going to be taking place. Microchip technology to buy SuperTex out there. So that is a nice premium if you've got that. A nice 35% gain here this morning. Tesla Motors, that's up $7. Regeneron Pharmaceuticals back in the mix here. REGN up about $4. Yelp up $4.50. AutoNav Holdings up about $4. So Fun. Yes, it is So Fun. Fund, SFUN, up $3 out here. St. Jude Medical up $2 and change. Boardwalk Pipeline, they're the leaders to the downside, down 36% here this morning. Sohu Communications, SOHU, off 6%, down $4 and change. Chang Yu Communications, CYOU, off 13% this morning. Bally Technologies down 5%. Lowe's Corp, the hotel, L is the ticker symbol. They're down 5% as well. Let's go back, take a look at silver out here, see what silver is doing. As I mentioned, chart looks pretty good so far as it begins its week, as it has broken through the trend line on the weekly chart that I've got out there. On the daily chart here, let me see, what's the issue? I've just got a different trend out there. In any event, what's most important here inside of silver is going to be what it does here as it approaches the level of $20, $20.50. I think that's the key number here, 2022. Hey, if it can't break through $20.50, guess what? It's probably going to travel all the way back down to the bottom out here, taking us down to lows of about $19 and a little bit of change. Now, if it can close above 25, probably with all this stored up energy, just like a rubber band, keep winding it and winding it and winding it, what we might see here is the eventual just explosive takeoff inside of silver. So it's lagged Goldilocks. We'll see whether or not it can get the energy to continue moving higher. Let's go take a look. Let's finish off the commodity sector, the primary commodity sector out here. Let's take a look at light sweet crude. And having a nice day on Friday out here. Nice wide-ranging bar, 234,000 contracts behind the move, taking out 250, taking out the B point of an A to B equals CD up. This says to me that right now, the way I take a look at light sweet crude, looks like about the 103, 104 range is where it is setting up its next move. And that would actually be setting up a nice little Gertley sell pattern out here. So let's go take a look at what that looks like. We can go ahead and we can color that one in on the screen out here. So that is the range that I would be looking at right now, right around the 104-ish area. Of course, you'd want to be waiting for some type of reversal signal out here. But it does look like that is the move that it wants to be able to make. Now, the key here is going to be getting above the 100.75 area. It has not done that yet. So if it gets above $100.75, that is the December 27th high out there. It ought to be able to make that move all the way up to the 104.50-ish type range out there. And that is on light sweet crude. If we take a look at bonds, see what bonds are doing here as we speak. Bonds, they are traveling in this little rising price channel. So they've got a couple of competing resistance and support levels that are currently in process here. Now, it's a continuous contract we're looking at on my screen. The continuous contract here showing a significant overhead resistance, the bottom of its long-term consolidation, which is in the 135 level. At this stage here, though, it also has support of this little rising price channel. Today, just simply moves sideways. Nothing big, nothing huge out there in the way of the 30-year Treasury. Natural gas, on the other hand, that was back about 8 cents earlier, trading now down to its 0.618 retracement of its last leg. Let's go ahead. Let's get rid of the A to B equals CD out here. Let's just make this easier. Now, what we're looking at here, folks, is, and this is the, what am I looking at here? The H contract. So this is the March contract here for natural gas. If you take a look at the low, $3.93 from January 10th. This is just the last leg that we're looking at. If you go from that low to the high out here, which was put in on February 5th, and that was out at $5.73. What we have seen now is a normal pullback. This is to the 0.618 retracement level. The exact number was $4.62. The intra-session low has been $4.62. How does that work, folks? Now, this is not a bullish reversal candle just because it's green out here. So it says you still got to be careful with regard. You'd actually want to go down and take a look at a shorter-term chart. Let's just see what kind of patterns we might have on let's look at a 120-minute chart here for the March contract for natural gas. Let's see what we've got going on out here. See if there was any pattern as this thing was completing its move out here. No pattern. Well, you got this little gap down. Now, what price has done is come back and it's filled this little gap. So as it opened over the weekend here, we saw a little bit of a gap down, and that was the low of the trading session here at $4.74. You're trading at $4.74 right now, so you're closing that gap out there. So that's a pattern that I can see here in natural gas. No reversal just yet. Let's take a look at oversold, overbought strength out here, see what we've got going on here. That's not in the oversold level here, not just yet. So this could say a little bit more move to the downside is a potential out here. As far as where that next move would be, if you take a look and go back to the daily chart, if the 0.618 level of 462 does not hold, then you're looking at about $4.32 out there, and that is on natural gas. Let's take a look at some of these stocks here that are popping and dropping. Then we'll go take a look at the currency market. Let's look at give me a moment here just to switch spots. What do I want to do here? I want to just workspace, close all. There we go. And then I don't have to save these next charts that we look at. So let's take a look at, pop into the upside out here that's not a buyout. Let's go take a look at Regeneron Pharmaceuticals, REGN. Haven't taken a look at that for a while, so let's go see what's going on inside Regeneron. Looks like that's taking out a swing point high out here. So this has been in a little. So we have Regeneron that's been in a consolidating pattern out here. Let me get rid of this consolidation, these consolidation areas out here. We know about Regeneron Pharmaceuticals right now, what it's doing. Had a nice, big, high-volume day up on January 14th, the top of which is 304.42. You're at 305 right now. That could be a small A to B equals C to up. Volume 2.2 million shares. In 12 minutes in trading here thus far this morning, 208,000 shares. I can't do the math that quickly to tell you what that is out here in the market. But the stock chart is bullish. I don't see anything significantly bearish about this, and it did have a nice little breakout session to the upside. So no real institutional selling or anything like that. If anything here, you've got some buying up at these highs out here. So that is on Regeneron Pharmaceuticals. Let's take a look at a weekly chart, see what the weekly chart for this shows here. Got a nice little trend out here. We could come all the way down to the lows, probably right around the, December 23rd, 2011 time frame. We could probably find the bottom of a price channel. I'd have to say that would be the bottom of your price channel out here. So it's a long way from support. Support on this could be probably right down here around the December 20th low, around 257.69. You're at 303 out here. Volume on the weekly basis, so it's trading into that candle session as we speak here right now. That is from the week of October 4th, and that's got 3.8 million shares. So if it can take out that high of 319.83 out there, do it with volume. Just simply, where will it? Well, if it can take it out with volume, that sets up a nice A to B equals CD on the weekly chart. On Regeneron Pharmaceuticals, the small pattern would take you up to a price point of probably about 349 to 374.59 out there. That's on Regeneron Pharmaceuticals. Let's go take a look at Sohu Communication. Well, let's take a look at Boardwalk Pipeline. BWP is the ticker symbol. That is getting the kibosh this morning. BWP, it's down about 39% out here. Ooh, with big volume behind the move to the downside. Boy, do these guys disappoint or what? What is... they just simply disappointed. I don't know what the news is, but it looks like their pipeline, their bonsai pipeline here, blew apart this morning. Man, oh man, we got to put this back on a longer-term chart. This is starting to flirt with danger out here, Will Robinson. That's your October 10th, 2008 time frame. But let's put this on a weekly chart, see what it is doing out here. So down with big volume, coming all the way back to which is not a high-volume low out here. That's unfortunate, as it can easily blow through this level. And that's at a price point of $14 even, Stephen, the week of October 10th, 2008. Only 3.7 million shares on a weekly basis, and today you've done 6 million shares? Yeah, I'd say it has no... So now where's the support underneath that? Man, nobody in this equity here, for the most part, really is in a profit position. That's not a party that I want to go to. That is on a Boardwalk Pipeline out there. And were there any signs out here as this thing was moving off of its highs? I suppose. Let's see out here. You've had some institutional selling. I'd say it began, where did it begin? Really, that you would be paying attention to. It's going to come all the way back here to May 6, 2011. This weekly chart we're looking at, but it's the first time you saw a wide-ranging bar with some good volume to the downside out here. So this stock, I can't tell you where it's going to head to because it is a nasty-looking stock chart. Don't short it, though. It's only at $14.74 out there, so it has to go out of business to make $14, and it just needs a buyout or something like that to move up $14. So it is not a good reward to risk trade out there. Let's take a look at Sohu Communications. SOHU is a ticker symbol. They're down about $5 off 7% here this morning. Looks like it's trading down into its 200-day exponential moving average. That level has held as support, with the exception of two trading sessions. Those two trading sessions being November 7th and November the 8th out there. Volume on those sessions about 1.9 million shares. This morning down with volume of 632. So it's got volume to the downside here. And it's taking on, well, it hasn't gotten quite back there. It's taking on trying to get down to the swing point of November 7th. So it looks like that's where it's headed to. It's headed there with volume. That says holding $60 and a penny is very important out there. If, in fact, it closes below 60.01, with or without volume, that would set up an A to B equals CD down. That is on Sohu Communication out here. Your A to B point out here, A to B equals CD. Your A point I'm using the swing point high from October 4th, 2013. SOHU is the ticker symbol. That's out at 87.29. Your B point, which I totally missed, so let me come back and redraw that out here, was doing too many things at one time. Your B point happens to be November 7th. That low, $60 and a penny. Your C point was that retracement. Looks like a 0.618 retracement coming into a gap. Hey, let's do this. Here's a beautiful one to take a look at. Let's get rid of these moving averages out here. Let's get rid of that. 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 There we go. We clean up the chart here. In fact, let's get rid of the A to B equals CD down. So Sohu Communications out here to take a look at it. Gaps down, big volume. This was on October 28th, 7 million shares. And we can see here that this was the resistance area. Now, it never got all the way back up to the bottom, meaning the low of the trading session from October 25th, which was at $80.08 out there, but got pretty close. Was coming in there with 836,000 shares. Remember, was going against 6.8 million shares. And even on the breakdown session, where it was moving into, which had 1.8 million shares, was coming in there light. What did it do? You got a nice bearish engulfing candle on the trading session of January 9th. That was the signal here. Now, this could easily be forming an A to B equals CD down. You're 1-to-1 on this. If it can break through the swing point out here, that swing point again being November the 7th, that would set you down to about 52.58 out there and change. I would have to say 45.20 would certainly be game out here, because once it gets below a price level of $59.31, there really is no support inside of Sohu Communications out here. That's what's going on there. Let's take a look at Cheng Yu Communications. So we got the communications in China going across the board here. CYOU versus CYA as the ticker symbol out here. So CYOU, this is down with some volume today. Let's go see what it is trading into, what it is breaking through. So volume here, you had a big gap down. This was on the trading session of October 28th. Well, I think that was Sohu Communication as well out here. But this thing has had two rather large gaps on the way down. Volume off of the highs two different times, and now you've got some volume in this equity today already done, 434,000 shares to the downside. So this is moving into this little breakout session right here. We'll see if that can hold. That was August 6, 2012, right around the 2150 level. Right now trading at 25.49. Relatively flat market out here, folks. Dow is up by 80 cents. S&P up 72. Composite, the big mover out here. No surprise there. Up $11. We'll be right back.
You take a hands-on approach to managing your investment strategy. You're always looking for the next trading opportunity to magnify your perspective. Direction Shares connects sophisticated traders with a powerful array of ETFs from a wide range of asset classes. The markets may go up and down, and you want tools for both sides of the trade. Discover how we can help at DirectionShares.com today. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction shares carefully before investing. The prospectus and summary prospectus contain this and other information about Direction shares. To obtain a prospectus or summary prospectus, please contact Direction shares at 800-851-0511. The prospectus or summary prospectus should be read carefully before investing. An investment in the funds is subject to risk, including the possible loss of principal. The funds are designed to be utilized only by sophisticated investors such as traders and active investors employing dynamic strategies. Investors in the fund should understand the consequences of seeking daily investment results, understand the risk of shorting, and intend to actively monitor and manage their investments. Distributor Foreside Fund Services, LLC. David White's newsletter, The Technology Insider, is focused like a laser on finding the next big things in technology. If you had invested only $10,000 in Microsoft in 1986, you'd have been a millionaire by 2000. Disruptive technology like Microsoft's is the key to these massive long-term profits, and the Tech Insider is the vehicle from TFNN to capitalize on these opportunities. This is the go-to newsletter that identifies, monitors, and profits on mostly little-known cutting-edge companies with great long-term prospects. David's experience is as an inventor of Emmy-winning animation products for TV and Hollywood that propelled a company public. Match that with 14 years as a full-time trader, and he's uniquely qualified to guide you through the light-speed world of ever-evolving high-tech. If you're ready to ride the next big technology bull market for less than $40 per month, log on to TFNN.com and get your 2-week free trial to the Technology Insider. Get in on the ground floor of the next big thing today. Since 1984, Basil Chapman has been using the Chapman Wave methodology to advise traders of his expert market opinion. While originally hand-drawing charts from the late 1970s into the 1980s, Basil noticed that prices under most circumstances virtually always had a certain number of legs to the upside before declining sharply. Later, Basil found that computer software, which included the standard market technical indicators, enhanced the degree of accuracy in calling price turns, as well as market trend calls. Thus was born the Chapman Wave sequence. Using the Chapman Wave methodology along with other indicators, Basil Chapman advises his subscribers of his expert market opinion each market day with his opening call newsletter. Right now, you can get a 2-week free trial to the opening call, Basil's daily trading newsletter, by visiting the front page of TFNN.com. Cancel at any time during that trial and pay absolutely nothing. Get your 2-week free trial to Basil's newsletter, The Opening Call, today by visiting TFNN.com.
Tom O'Brien's weekly gold letter, The Gold Report, gives complete and concise coverage of the entire gold market. Inside, you'll get Tom's commentary on gold, the dollar, the rand, the bond, the XAU, the HUI, and detailed coverage of nearly 25 mining stocks. He'll give you the entry price, price target, and stop price of each stock trade. The Gold Report is a long-term newsletter where the focus is on building real wealth through the management of a successful portfolio of gold stocks. With a lifetime of knowledge and almost 12 years of writing his informative weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, Tom O'Brien can provide you with the important market information to help you make better trades in the gold market. Don't let the next bull run in gold pass you by. To get a month-long free trial to The Gold Report, an $85 value, visit the front page of TFNN.com today.
Catch the Money Masters as they teach you the art of mastering money when it comes to trading and investing. Next on TFNN.
Welcome back, folks. Dow is off 14 points right now. S&P is down 44 cents out here. On my chart here, the 50-day, I've got the VIX up on my chart. The top of the screen, top half of the screen, is the VIX index, trading out at 1551. Still above the 50-day exponential moving average out there, so you got to be cautious. You can't be too overly optimistic yet on the bullish side here. You know, in order to do that, you'd like to see the VIX get below the 50-day exponential moving average. That's where you now. Not that the past couple of trading sessions weren't good. In fact, we took advantage of a turn utilizing the Rhodes Momentum Indicator strategy and system out there by going long. The Dow, we actually went long the Dow back on Wednesday afternoon of last week out there. The VIX, so in order for these markets to really get some legs to the upside, you're going to need to see it get below the 50-day exponential moving average. It is not down there, so you've got to have kind of a tale of a couple of different charts out here. New York Stock Exchange, on the other hand, nice enough market breadth on Friday to push its oscillators up above the zero line, meaning the summation index was up above. It was turning to the upside. Now, here's where today's session is really critical out here. If we take a look at the New York Stock Exchange, let me do this out here. Where is my chart? Let me go back and find it. It's in a different tab. I know I can do this because I've done it a million times before, but man, I do have a bunch of tabs up on the top of my screen. Sometimes hard to keep them. Here's the New York Stock Exchange. Window, tile, vertical, there we go. So at the bottom of my screens here, I've got the summation index. So I've got really three little tools out here. At the summation index, when that turns up, that is a bullish out there. That's a bullish sign. The volume oscillator, the price oscillator being above zero, that also is a bullish sign, and that's what it was able to do and squeak out on Friday. I need to pull up a spreadsheet here. I keep track of all this data so I can chart all the stuff at the bottom of my screen here on a daily basis, and so now I can't remember what the net declining issues that would be needed today, and that's something we want to be paying attention to here because 693 is the number. So right now you've got 400, and as far as the New York Stock Exchange, it's weak. It's the weakest of the the Russell 2000 is a tad weaker. Russell 2000 is weak, period. It's weak in the knees, down 0.3%, but just behind it, drafting right behind it, and if you were in a race, you don't want to see the New York Stock Exchange drafting the Russell 2000 because, on that last lap it can pull out, can catapult forward. In any event here, let me digress. 430 or so net declining issues right now. You get to minus 693 or greater today. Guess what happens? The summation index turns back down. The price oscillator will turn back below zero. The volume oscillator, I can't be certain of. That's got to be calculated at the end of the trading session. The problem is it creates a little fish hook out there. And so for those of you that like to catch fish, if in fact the oscillator and the summation index turn down after one day, that is very bearish. So the combination of that, the combination of the VIX index being above the 50-day exponential moving average, whether you're bullish or bearish, are some great signals for us to be paying attention to, and those are two that you want to look at. Hey, if you can get net advancing issues today, that just bodes well for the case of the New York Stock Exchange and the other indexes moving higher. In the case of the New York Stock Exchange, moving up to the 10,146 level is not out of the question. That's its next move. That would be your 0.618 retracement out there. So, folks, if you're off to start your Monday, thank you so much for joining us here today. Have a great day. If you're staying with us, thank you for doing that. We'll see you in about 8 to 10 minutes out there. Have a great day, folks. Look forward to seeing you soon. Take care now. Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, host of the Money Master Show at TFNN.com. Eastern legend tells of a fair maiden who was offered a rare gift by the king of the land, a bag of pearls. The king promised that she could keep the largest, most perfect pearl she could find with these three conditions. 1, choose only one pearl. 2, remove one pearl at a time, accept or reject it. And 3, if rejected, it would be lost forever. She began by looking at the pearls, passing on many special treasures. She delved deeper into the bag, and soon the pearls were replaced with pebbles. Sadly, she went home empty-handed. Folks, replace pearls with time because we cannot go back even 2 seconds. We live in the eternal moment of now. So when now are you going to take advantage of my offer to you, a subscription to my daily investment newsletter service, Mastering Probability, where you can experience the most incredible pearls for trading and investing, the Rhodes Momentum Indicator and Strategy. The offer? It gets better. A 30-day money-back guarantee. Don't go home empty-handed. Mastering Probability. Available on the homepage of TFNN.com.
You're watching Tiger TV.